As a rose goes from limb to limb, fingertip to painted lip, she sways her way up to him. Says, now that your wallet is all lit up, now that your wallet is all lit up, now that your wallet is all lit up. Buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan. This is James. And today we're going to talk about Media Matters, how they prop up Ben Shapiro and smear Bernie Sanders. That's right, I said prop up. You'll figure out why. First, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. Please donate. This is our second attempt because our live stream cut out. Oh, a comment already. From Langston. So, yeah, please donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link down there. Alright, so apparently Ben Shapiro and Media Matters gotten a little, what's the word, tiffy? Tissy? Hissy fit? Because someone alluded that Ben Shapiro was alluding that the Notre Dame fire was caused by a Muslim. And Ben Shapiro took offense to this. And he responded, calling what they do garbage and all that. His typical thing. He's afraid to curse. His dad might spank him if he curses, so he calls them garbage. And then he gets one particular response that apparently went viral.
Mm-hmm.
Media Matters responded to Ben Shapiro saying, "Fuck you and the borough you wrote in on." Now, to me, a normal human being, that's not a big deal at all. In fact, I immediately read it as a play on words from what Ben Shapiro said, which was, "Fuck you and the horse you rode in on," which he said to The Economist, who called him alt-right. Even though he's the most hated person from the alt-right, I received the most threats according to the ADL, and I'm the...
It's like
You've heard the spiel before.
It's like I batted 300.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. Now, for my purposes, none of that means anything to me. The gossipy stuff, I don't give a fuck about. It's more about the players involved, the names involved, and me with my conspiratorial thoughts in the back of my head, what I think is going on here. And it has something to do with propping this guy up. So, let's go to the clip here. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. Okay, so this is a clip from Ben Shapiro today. It's titled, "Proof Media Matters is a Garbage Organization." Now, he made an entire, 50-something minute video about this on the day after Trump announces where he's vetoing the bill to end the U.S. support of Saudi Arabia and Yemen. But this was more important. And this should be very, very telling. This is how this guy gets his support. This is how he gathers fans up. He needs someone to fight against in those regards. I mean, you would think a guy like this, with this following, standing up against the Yemen war, you'd be like, whoa, that would bring in a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
But if he starts talking about that, he'll have to talk about other wars. And that's not good for his business.
No.
That's not good for his brand. He needs the gossipy Media Matters bullshit to bolster him up. And they need him. They need him, quite frankly.
It's gonna leave like a vacuum hole.
Yeah.
What about this war over here, Ben? Not only Yemen, Syria, Palestine, Iraq, Afghanistan.
I'm thinking these guys call Ben Shapiro alt-right because they know he's not. And since they know he's not, they can continue the argument for years and years, and it could be a mainstay topic. Guys, we're trying to do each segment like it's its own video, and then we'll get to comments. I promise. I promise you, I guarantee it. All right, so this is Ben Shapiro complaining about Media Matters. Pay attention to the language he uses, by the way.
Media Matters is a left-wing group founded by David Brock in coordination with John Podesta and Hillary Clinton right before Hillary Clinton ran for the Senate in 2000. It has long been a font for Clintonista hackery, and its main mission is basically to knock right-wing people off the air, to knock conservatives off the air.
Remember, he says that. It's meant to knock right-wing. It's meant to knock conservatives off the air. Remember, he says that.
Media Matters has for years been funded by members of the Democratic Party left and higher echelon people on the left, specifically to dig up garbage on people on the right, and then to try to initiate fake secondary boycotts against advertisers. They did this to Tucker Carlson. They've done it to Laura Ingraham. They've done it to Rush Limbaugh. They've done it to Sean Hannity. They've done it to they're a 501c3 group. They certainly do not act like a 501c3 nonprofit.
Also remember, he's talking about this whatever group funded by Democratic higher-ups to smear right-wing guys and try to get advertisement pulled by boycotting.
Just, keep batting for your team. Yeah.
Let's have a look over here just for a second. There it is. So there's an article that Jordan Sheridan, I guess, took a screenshot of from the Hollywood Reporter. Media Matters gets some right-wing competition. A new group called Truth Revolt, run by radio host Ben Shapiro, launched Monday with calls to boycott Ritz Crackers if it doesn't stop its sponsorship of Al Sharpton's show on MSNBC. Now, I can give zero fucks about Al Sharpton, but
Ritz Crackers.
This sounds like the same behavior as Media Matters. And look, there's Ben Shapiro's name all over it.
Yeah.
So, I think you've heard us say this before. I think the guy's a charlatan. And he just further what's the word? Exposes himself. Just based on, if you look at a news cycle and then you go to him, you can see the exposure happen. The problem is his fan base, they don't look at the news cycle. They get their news from him and sources like him. That's why they might not hear about the whole Yemen thing.
A lot of people won't. If they, if it's almost like this dude straight up walked out of a time machine from like 2003. That's not good.
Speaker turning off.
A neocon from 2003. Straight up walked out of a time machine.
It's in 2003 neocon with a new suit and a new haircut and different graphics. Like, we don't need to project the generals and the tough men. Let's go with the nerd, the nerdy look this time around. Let's go with the sympathetic character.
Oh, I'm sympathetic.
As in, he's a
mealy
mouse son of a bitch.
I don't see how anybody could, how he could be favorable. And like the first time I saw him, like, oh, you're an asshole. That's about it.
Yeah, but
like the very first time I saw this dude on like YouTube.
most of his fans for sure, do not suspect him of being a war-hungry chicken hawk neocon. I don't think fans see that.
Oh, they're
They see him
fans.
destroying leftists, drinking leftist tears.
Well, you can't be a fan when it comes to ideas.
Yeah.
With anything or anybody, because then you'll end up being right, like a contradicting what should be actually going on, as far as ideas being presented to each other, and the best one will stand. And the purpose is to have the best thing possible for everybody else, not have some sort of agenda that I'm going to push for. And because you're my fans, you're not going to see really what I mean.
No.
You're team me no matter what. Like, for example, like, let's say Ben gets in trouble with some sort of sexual assault. Like, he didn't do it. Like, well, okay, you don't know that. No, he's a good guy. Like, you don't know him.
You wouldn't do that.
You know what I mean?
In fact, the woman probably raped him. Let's be real here. All right, so let's let him continue a little bit. If it gets boring, I'll just cut it off and move on.
Mm-hmm.
They're a horrible organization designed specifically to smear their own political opponents and the political opponents of people like Hillary Clinton, and then to target advertisers who dare to spend their money with those people.
We just saw you do that.
Yeah.
Or at least you tried to do that in the past. Ritz crackers, man. Come on, son.
Even if those advertisers are not actually involved in promoting that show alone. So an advertiser can advertise on Tucker and also advertise on MSNBC. Media Matters targets the advertisers for Tucker. Media Matters, by the way, is so obviously partisan that after Joy Reid was hit with a bunch of allegations and, in fact, proof that she had said some terrible things in her past, Media Matters said that was a hit job against Joy Reid.
Remember, they're very partisan. Here's the narrative he's putting on here, that it's a left versus right thing. They're the left. They represent the whole left, and they attack the whole right.
Well, there's no spectrum, you see. It's just one big thing, right?
Yeah. Pay attention to those words.
So Media Matters' only job is to create these long, giant files of supposedly terrible stuff that people on the right have said. So Talia Levin thanked Media Matters on her Twitter feed for helping her gather information for her crap column. And then I tweeted out that her crap column was in fact a crap column, and that she was taking a tweet that was perfectly innocent and historically accurate, and then trying to link me to violence against Muslims on the basis of that, which is not only a stretch, it is a tearing apart of any semblance of logic or reason or honesty. So
I never did that. I never incited violence against Muslims. Not once.
Ever.
You can go back in time and
Yeah.
and then for those that say, well, he apologized, and like, then what's all this shit? And that's from like months ago.
Yeah.
So it's a little odd. And the other thing I was gonna say is, like, I think like you could see his hair's coming undone. So it's like maybe every time this dude like starts like shaking, he starts lying even more. Like his buttons start coming undone, and his hat just fucking flies off his head.
Yeah, if they do a close-up, look at the string of hair that's hanging off. You can almost time that for how many times he's gyrating while he's saying something. He's like,
God, it's just fucking what a lack of an authentic individual, man. Christ.
I tweet that out, and Media Matters tweets back at me from their corporate account. F you and the borough you wrote in on. So first of all, man, leave the borough out of it. Like, I don't know what the borough has to do with anything, but you leave that borough out of it. And I don't understand, honestly, what the reference is supposed to be to. Okay, then, Media Matters tweets this out.
he's lying, but he knows what the reference is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm trying to justify, so they start getting ratioed, which means people on Twitter point out how dumb this is. And that Media Matters is a garbage organization, because they are. By the way, it is worth...
I don't think they look into, not that Media Matters is awesome, they're terrible, but, you know, I think it's kids that, like, oh, the SJWs, I'm on Ben's team, and we need to take down the leftists from bullshit that this guy fucking spews. That's where they get that from.
This is just embarrassing for fucking mankind. This shit's
for
actual,
any sense of journalism. This
is an actual thing. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're popular because a bunch of silly people
Yeah.
who are children decide to, like, you know, like, make sure that no one else talks. But then, like your side, it's also, propped up by children. You're their champion. Like, wow.
That's my conspiracy theory, that Media Matters points out Ben Shapiro overtly because, well, they want him to be the voice on the other side. Like, oh, we can handle Ben.
It was easy.
We know how to keep an argument going with him to where that's the topic that we all talk about. It's failing because, I don't know, it's weird. Like, certain events just start happening.
I mean...
Right? There's probably some bullshit story going on. Then Assange gets arrested. And it's like, oh, your bullshit story gets washed away.
Yeah.
Then they have this
don't talk about that, at least in depth.
They have this little hissy fit thing going on. And nope, Trump vetoes the bill to get our support out of Yemen. Pull support from Saudi Arabia. That happens. That takes over.
I mean,
this bullshit.
This guy is like one of the many that are like fairly transparent.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and I'm sure he lost a lot of fans during his whole Assange video.
From what I read in the comments, they were very nice to him. they were too nice to him.
It was probably 80-1 in the comments section. A ratio of 80-1. 80 people were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I also have reason.
So one person they're not saying something positive about Ben. They just talk about a different story. That's the only reason.
There's reason to believe that like to dislike ratio was also,
ratioed.
Yeah.
Helped out a bit.
So how come whenever the likes go up, whenever the dislikes go up by let's say 80 every time I refresh the fucking page, the likes go up by 70.
Yeah.
It just kept going, then eventually just the dislikes started overwhelming.
Yeah, I gotta go back and check that.
So, it's been a while since I looked at that. But,
All right. So
go ahead.
Give me a couple more words here.
Worthy of note, Media Matters is constantly quoted as a media watchdog. That's how it is termed constantly by the left-wing media, by the mainstream media. They are constantly calling Media Matters a media watchdogs, just as they called the Southern Poverty Law Center a racism watchdog. These are hardcore leftist groups with motivation. Media Matters proved it yesterday.
Remember, hardcore leftists. They're super left. Remember, he's using words like that.
F you and the bro you wrote in on for criticizing an opinion columnist in the pages of the Washington Post for basically throwing out slanderous material. Not legally slanderous, but in the generic sense. Media Matters didn't stop with suggesting that I F myself and also that they wanted to have sex with the donkey. They also continued by then trying to explain their way out of this.
Now, see how he's turning the smear back onto them. Now he's going to smear them in a weird way. And it's going to be like, oh, well, Ben's right. Like, no. Media Matters is right. No, Ben's right. No, Media Matters.
it's just enough so that way they can keep going.
Yeah.
It's almost like a stage, and two sides keep shoving each other, but not too much to the point where either of them is going to fall off the stage because everyone else is going to be paying attention as far as super focus, OCD.
Yeah.
So, is that the term, OCD, or no?
Super focus.
Yeah.
I think OCD is I have to fix everything.
Oh, my bad. All right, so anyway, it's just super focused on that one dude, and they're going to start seeing his fucking, your contradictions are just everywhere here.
Yeah.
Your shoe's untied, man. Your hair's coming apart. What's this? And how come they hold up a mirror, his reflection doesn't show. And, good guy, fucking little hole in the ground appears, just falls through it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so I'm just gonna verbally just speed through this. So Ben Shapiro sent a tweet to The Economist, who wrote a story calling him the alt-right or something like that. And he said, fuck you and fuck the horse you rode in on, or something like that.
You said that?
That's what Shapiro said to them. So Media Matters sent to Shapiro, fuck you, or fuck the borough you rode in on. So I'm like, those are clearly references. They're referencing something you've said before.
Yeah.
Like, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So him pretending he has no idea where that comes from is absolutely silly. Or he's never listened to rap music in his life. He can't see a play on words right in front of his face.
I doubt this guy got to
He could be
experience
an
a lot of
automaton
things
and not realize
in
it.
his life. Huh?
He could be an automaton. Yeah.
An automaton?
Nah. Fuck, I just said it right the first time.
Or
Automaton.
automaton.
Yeah, some robotic
Okay.
motherfucker
Yeah.
who can't read between the lines. But, alright, so, whatever. Gossipy. There's a reason we bring up this non-story, this bullshit non-story. It's because this is the overt stuff Media Matters is involved in. This is the stuff they want you to see and they want you to talk about. The covert stuff, the stuff they don't want you to see, what they're really doing behind closed doors, them and organizations like them, what they really do behind closed doors, where the real game's happening at.
Look at that.
From the New York Times, from yesterday or the day before.
Well, they can't lie, right?
Well, let's look at this. Stop Sanders. Democrats are agonizing over his momentum. Sounds like an exaggeration. Let's look into this.
Oh, is he still silent regarding Assange?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be telling.
So let's look at this.
Be very, very telling.
Here, let me do this. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the windows. My bad, guys. I forgot to put the... I'll just block us out for a second. Yeah. Okay, so... There's your story, there's your headline. Stop Sanders. Democrats are agonizing over his momentum. This is from April 16th. It's yesterday. All right. When Leah Doherty, a former Democratic Party official, addressed a closed-door gathering of about 100 wealthy liberal donors in San Francisco last month, all it took was a review of the 2020 primary rules to throw a scare in them. Democrats are likely to go into their convention next summer without having settled on a presidential nominee, said Mrs. Daughtry, who ran her party's conventions in 2008 and 2016, the last two times the nomination was contested. And Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont is well positioned to be one of the last candidates standing, she noted. That's better. I think I freaked them out, Ms. Daughtry recalled with a chuckle, an assessment that was confirmed by 3 other attendees. They are hardly alone. Someone sounds scared of Bernie Sanders winning the nomination.
I don't trust that guy.
From canopy-filled fundraisers on the coast to the cloakrooms of Washington, mainstream Democrats are increasingly worried that their effort to defeat President Trump in 2020 could be complicated by Mr. Sanders in a political scenario all too reminiscent of how Mr. Trump himself seized the Republican nomination in 2016. Let's continue. I might end up reading this whole fucking thing. Hopefully you guys can see all this.
Oh boy.
How some Democrats are beginning to ask, do they thwart a 70-something candidate from outside the party structure who is immune to intimidation or incentive and wields support from an unwavering base without simply reinforcing the establishment is out to get me message, the same grievance Mr. Trump used used to great effect. But stopping Mr. Sanders, or at least preventing a contentious convention, could prove difficult for Democrats. So they're setting up this scenario that they're worried that Sanders will lose to Trump, or they're worried that Sanders will be the guy. I think that's more likely the case. They may use the excuse like, "Oh, we might lose to Trump if Sanders is the guy."
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Yeah. We all know it's the exact opposite. If Kamala Harris won the nomination,
Oh, sure.
Trump will win against her. Trump will win against Cory Booker. Trump will win against Pete Buttigieg. When people find out his policies, he's in this article too.
It's like jobbers to face, you know. Like, we'll have you here, so that way this guy doesn't, you know, so that way you don't get enough attention, you know. Like Bernie Sanders is already gonna get a lot of attention, but like clearly, but anybody else that could prove to be legitimate, you know, they'll get washed away.
Yeah.
It's fucking sad. So.
Let me read this right here. Okay. So, talking about Bernie, his strength on the left gives him a real prospect of winning the Democratic nomination and could make him competitive for the presidency if his economic justice message resonates in the Midwest as much as Mr. Trump's appeal to hard-edged nationalism did in 2016. Or Hillary was so corrupt they couldn't vote for her. And for many Sanders supporters, the anxieties of establishment Democrats are not a concern. Meaning, already Bernie's supporters, if he wins the nominate, they're not worried about corporate Democrats. They're not worried about them in the primaries, according to this article at least. I'm not worried. I think he'll win flat out easily.
Sanders?
Yeah. I think Tulsi will give him a decent run. I mean, I'm hearing guys who are like,
The thing I'm
fuck Trump. After the Yemen thing, I'm hearing guys like, fuck Trump, I'm voting Tulsi.
The thing I'm
Big name people with check marks.
The thing I'm looking into as far as, you know, what Gravel,
Yeah.
they say his name, is gonna bring to the debate,
He's going to
the
slay.
debate platform.
Yeah.
So when it's him and Tulsi's officially in.
Yeah.
All right.
Gravel, I don't think he's officially in
Oh, but eventually, I would say probably he's going to be.
yet. Yeah.
But eventually, like, to both of them, as well as Sanders, I think, you know, it's going to be somewhat exposing for Sanders, but just because of his overwhelming popularity, he's going to be the nominee, which is unfortunate, because I don't trust either of them.
I think he knows
I
how
don't
to
trust him,
maneuver
though.
around
Him?
Bernie Sanders, yeah.
It's like, why are you silent on the Assange arrest?
I think Gravel would be the person that brings that up.
Probably.
I doubt they ask those questions. Okay.
Just be a savage. You know.
Next paragraph. That prospect is spooking establishment-aligned Democrats, some of whom are worried that his nomination could lure third-party centrists into the field, and it is also creating tensions about what, if anything, should be done to halt Mr. Sanders. How do we stop this guy?
Sanders?
How are we going to stop this guy? This is what these establishment corporate Democrats are talking about.
All they need is some kiddie porn to appear on his laptop, and then
Yeah.
that's like, you know, the Bulls are going to play the Pistons in playoffs. And Michael Jordan, they just found out, Michael Jordan just got hit by a car. It's like, yes. You got this.
So, check this out. Some of the party still harbor anger over the 2016 race, when he ran against Mrs. Glenn and his continuing resistance to becoming a Democrat. But his critics are chiefly motivated by a fear that nominating an avowed socialist would all but ensure Mr. Trump a second term. That's absolute bullshit. They'd rather have Trump elected, as Jimmy Dore will say. They'd rather have Donald Trump elected than Bernie Sanders elected. Because if Bernie gets elected and he does even half of what he's promised to do, they're done for. They're fucked.
Oh, yeah. It's always the presence of someone that they don't like, but as long as they follow through as far as policy, whether it be like within the country or even a foreign policy, they're not really going to complain. Which is why you'll never really say, like, the guys who are against Trump as far as mainstream media or anybody else that's a political figure, they're never going to make a case, because they could if they really wanted to, for him to get impeached or for him to be removed from office, because it's going to take down their team as well. It does the same exact thing.
Yep. And also,
so this is low-hanging fruit.
If you have Bernie Sanders and it has a Democrat next to his name, and you have a Kamala Harris who also has a Democrat next to her name, now you're fucked. See, when Ben Shapiro and all these other YouTube quote-unquote right-wingers, when they start calling Kamala Harris and David Brock and Media Matters, when you start calling those guys extreme left when they're not, now it's like, what the fuck is Bernie Sanders? I thought he was furthest to the left as far as the candidates go.
Real quick. Hey,
well, not Mike Gravel.
Comments will be answered at the end of video or whatever we're doing as far as like specific segments.
At the end of each segment, we'll answer comments.
Yeah.
And remember to put, if you want to say something to us so we, can catch up with everything,
put
it at Yellow Brick Road so we know it's to us.
Yeah, because I can see there's some people are scrapping in the comments.
Good. Fight amongst each other while I don't know. Okay, so remember that David Brock guy that this guy was talking about, Ben Shapiro was talking about? David Brock, he founded the media watchdog group, Media Matters for America, right there. He founded that group. Ben Shapiro was just complaining about. This is a quote from him. There's a growing realization that Sanders could end up winning this thing, or certainly that he stays in so long that he damages the actual winner, said David Brock, the liberal organizer, who said he has had discussions with other operatives about an anti-Sanders campaign and believes it should commence sooner rather than later. Now, when Ben Shapiro says, by Media Matters, who they target conservatives and right wing. No, Ben. Well, yes, that's the overt. Here's the mask. Pay attention to this right here. Behind closed doors, they do sneaky shit like this, to where they're trying to take the Sanders campaign down. Why? On the surface, it's because we don't want Trump to win, and Bernie will lose to Trump, which is absolutely bullshit. I think Fox News put out a poll where he's up by like 7 points in a whatever poll. I don't like polls, but whatever. He's still leading in a Fox News gathered poll over Donald Trump.
I wish on Fox News they show you how.
Yeah.
Like they literally like as like they're the poll is about to be like within the segment, but they're gonna create the poll.
Yeah.
Put the sources down, so it's like you already know.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna show you this for about like 4 seconds, 5 seconds solid, tops, and then the poll is gonna disappear. We're not gonna show you where we got it from. We're not gonna show you where the percentages are what the percentages are based off of. Look at my bar graph. Are you committed yet? Are you committed to my cause?
That guy responded to him, by the way.
Who?
That dude, Nuance, bro.
Oh, really?
He responded to the elephant.
Really?
Like, nah. Like, you're either lying or...
You know what?
When you hear that, it's like...
You know what Ryan Dawson did?
What?
Ryan Dawson did a video.
About that?
Think of it like... He went on Red Elephant show. Vincent James' show, Ryan Dawson. And then he did a video about how like race and genetics don't determine behavior.
Yeah.
I was like, but you didn't at him. So, whatever.
All right,
it's interesting.
Yeah. So the on the surface excuse for trying to take down Bernie Sanders with his operatives, the on the surface excuse is they don't want Trump to win and they don't think Sanders could beat Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit. They don't want an actual, like, through and through progressive to win the presidency, because then the rest of their party is fucked. They are fucked. These guys will convert to the right wing. Media Matters, their whole group will say their vows and enter the Republican Party and become their operatives. Their whole party would fall apart. No lie. Right? Because what if they have Bernie Sanders in office and he wants to put this bill through, and three-quarters of the Democrats in the House and the Senate and shit vote against Bernie Sanders? They're like my own party's not letting me get the things I want to get done.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because, as far as to a certain degree, or might even just
call them out.
Straight up in general, it's just people masquerading as Democrats or Republicans.
Yeah.
Or I'm a progressive, or I'm a conservative. Not really. You just say you are, but you all bend the knee to the same group of people. Yeah. When it comes to policy, foreign policy, whatever have you. So it's just a little interesting.
So,
Jesus, a lot of fighting in these comments. I keep having to put show comment. A lot of expletives. Oh boy.
So I'm going to skip through the article a little bit.
It's like a lot of blood in the water.
Let's read this. The matter of what to do about Bernie and the larger imperative of party unity has, for example, hovered over a series of previously undisclosed Democratic dinners in New York and Washington organized by the longtime party financier Bernard Schwartz. So they have basically secret meetings, secret dinners to plan out how they'll take down Bernie Sanders.
Oh yeah, reminds me of the what do you call it?
And this is not some great praise of Bernie Sanders. It's that he's the guy most likely to win, and he's a progressive.
Yeah.
So.
Or were those meetings that Jones would stand outside the building and scream at? What was it? Bilderberg?
Oh, it's Bilderberg.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have these secret meetings. That's somewhat unofficial. Everyone knows we're heading over here to talk about this or that.
Yeah. The gatherings have included scores from the moderate or center-left wing of the party, including Speaker Nancy Pelosi of California, Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, the minority leader, former Governor Terry McFuck-his-name of Virginia, Mayor Pete Buttigieg of South Bend, Indiana. Why the fuck is a mayor? Himself, a presidential candidate and the president of the Center for American Progress, Neera fucking Tanden. She's.
I think they misspelled Tulsi Gabbard wrong.
No, she wasn't at this meeting.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Apparently, Neera Tanden punched a journalist for asking Hillary about the Iraq War.
What happened?
She punched them.
Who?
Neera Tanden.
Is there a video of this?
Oh, fuck no. She probably walks around with scanners in her phone for cameras so she could turn her creepiness on and know she won't get caught with anything. But
jeez.
Mayor Pete Buttigieg is in this quiet meeting about what do we do about Bernie. They're also named as from moderate to center-left wing of the party. He's not a progressive, in other words. So why is the mayor from South Bend, Indiana, a mayor of some town that came out of nowhere, he surprised us all, where'd he come from? Is somehow invited to this fucking meeting? I mean, once again, my conspiracy mind goes off.
Oh, sure. I think he's here for a specific reason as far as to, you're here, so that way everyone else does not pay attention to these three people over here, or two, depending on who you consider to be somewhat legitimate. I mean, somewhat legitimate.
I think this is their guy.
Oh my God.
I think this is their guy to take down Bernie Sanders. This is their guy with squeaky clean record, which is no, I don't think anyone's gonna have a squeaky clean record.
He is young.
He's young. He's gay. He has no policy that we can speak of. Truly, other than I like the idea of the Supreme Court justices, but anyone could do that.
Mm-hmm.
All his other policies fall short of people. Like people already have better ideas. Yet for some reason, this guy is just going up in the polls. He's getting support. He's on every fucking TV show. He's on the top. He's on the billing of all the news fucking papers.
Is his policy clear? Or is it somewhat non-existent?
He's for the First Aid Act. Remember that commenter like made a policy up and said it for him?
He made a policy up, or maybe he was trying. I was trying to be fair.
Well, I'm saying if it has a name to it,
Uh-huh.
you would think it'd just be. I could just be able to find this right away.
Well,
But,
the thing, what it shows, as far as what it shows me, especially from the guy who commented or whatever, it's not exactly clear. It's not exactly like on a billboard where everyone can fucking see it. It's somewhat
hidden because he knows it's not. It was a healthcare thing, and he knows it's not Medicare for all, which everyone by now realizes most people want that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the circle of life going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Shapiro attacked for this. He props their story up of attacking him, and they prop his story up of attacking them, and they're just holding each other up with these bullshit arguments on the surface level up here. Behind closed doors, this is what happens. Also, if you want to talk about Ben Shapiro, what happens with him on this? In between him arguing about college kids and SJWs and you're a man, in between that, Assange is a Russian agent. Iraq War, they just did it wrong. We should have won, but they did it wrong.
Isn't it cool how he'll do
Venezuela,
yeah.
socialism is evil.
He will make an 8 videos within the week on something some subject that can be considered as something 8 videos on a subject that can be considered low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But when something like really fucking crazy happens, like Assange being fucking arrested, then there's well, how did he get arrested? Why did he get arrested? Well, who did it? Why did they do it? WikiLeaks said something regarding the arrest prior. Like, what happened? He's a Russian agent. Anyways, clicks his papers, like, back to these low-hanging fruit,
So
fucking topics. It's like, what the fuck, man?
So Shapiro hides his neocon chicken hawk colors in plain sight.
Oh, I think he
and these guys, Media Matters or Center for American Progress, those guys are more behind the scenes. And who's they push in front? Someone who will never talk about any of this. Here's Pete Buttigieg. Here's one of the top 100 most influential people in the world. Here's Nancy Pelosi. Here it is. Here's the shill and
it's like
another shill. Chuck Schumer. Here you go.
Whenever I hear these guys, I'm like, oh, you guys are just bland,
Yeah, and
it's like, oh, you're whatever they want you to be. You probably walk out there with a piece of paper that's signed. So-and-so agrees to say this exact same thing as the guy to my left, Yeah.
If these guys were actually in the game for winning, they would have supported Bernie back in 2016. It was clear he was the more popular candidate. It was clear as day he was the most popular candidate.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I mean, I was informed.
Well, I wouldn't say he's the most popular candidate. His policies were the most popular.
Yeah.
It's just the DNC did not put the face to the policy and say, this is our guy. He's actually into these policies. Instead, they spent all their money and, airtime and all that shit and favored Hillary Clinton. And they lost. Now, this time around, it's 100% Bernie Sanders is the candidate.
Maybe it's like
over
skill.
Everyone.
It's some sort of skill
still trying
I
to
developed as far as remembering that he did that.
Yeah.
And as well as him allegedly getting a tip off to this might be happening as far as him getting screwed over by the DNC, and he did nothing to stop it. Which makes me think
he contested, but not as much as people wanted him to.
Well, hey man, that dude should be basically right. Just fucking go to some Red Sox game, strip naked, fucking streak on the field, have a flag up.
I've had thoughts about this, and now I'm like, maybe him sticking around. Maybe they could have vanished him if he said, fuck this, I'm going back to where I was, which was being independent rather than a Democrat.
I don't know.
But he stuck around. Maybe it opened the door for other candidates. Like, oh, Bernie's still here with us, so let's vote in AOC. And they have the perception of being the progressive types. Whether or not they fall through,
I can't get
story.
behind him. I can't do it. Yeah. For someone that's, went with the whole Russiagate talking point. As well as Assad. Assad must go. Did he not say that? Did he not call Assad a dictator?
Yeah.
All right, so that's a little fucking that's bothered me a lot. And then, right, and I could be wrong here, but he's somewhat silent when Assange gets arrested, but Gabbard and what's his name? Gravel?
Yeah.
Gravel? Say something. It's like, dude, you're the most popular guy, man. And the reason why that matters is because you're probably going to, if or when you do get elected, as far as what I see how I see it playing out, you're going to be the guy everybody looks to as far as to pardon this guy, Assange, and Chelsea Manning.
Yeah.
So, when you're silent, it's like, are you fucking bending are you bending, your knee to these dudes?
You may very well hire the guys that are talking about Assange.
Mm-hmm.
And he could be doing some team strategy shit. Just leave it alone, and once I get elected, then I'll do something. I can't expect him to not do anything about it. But a lot of those votes for Trump just shifted to Tulsi Gabbard. Ryan Dawson was just talking about, vote Tulsi this year. He had a former Trump supporter. I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm voting Tulsi Gabbard.
I can't get behind her either.
Neither. Yeah, I can.
I can't.
I don't vote, period.
Well, me either.
But
as far as
if I took on the surface, in the world we live, I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Assad's a dictator, right? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll play politics. I'll just throw away my morals for a day.
Fair enough.
I saw that. I was like, oh,
I forgot
fuck
about
you,
that shit.
huh?
I forgot about that shit. But I have also heard her change her mind over time. Like, hey, if you say I fucked up,
did she?
This is me correcting it.
Did she?
Well, she needs a chance to.
Did she do it?
She needs a chance to.
You see, for me, you should make little to no mistakes as far as morality goes when you're in that position. What is she? What's her position right now?
That might not be a moral mistake as much as it would be in the sense of being deceptive.
If I'm going off as far as her playing politics when she was on The View.
You can play politics as long as you don't lose your morality.
I'll just compromise with yeah, he's a dictator.
Compromise is...
He's a dictator, yeah, sure. Like, what? What did you just say?
The moral answer in that scenario is an individual on their own. What do they really believe? The immoral part comes in with deception. Like, oh, you lied about your position. Or, if you do really believe this, then it becomes a personal fucking immoral action.
Well, the thing I saw is what else are you willing to compromise when you're in a public platform?
Not much.
I'd hope not.
I think it's too late now.
I don't know that.
I think once she went with Assange, it's like now
I don't know.
Now she's all over it, talking about everything.
I really don't know.
I'm just saying. Okay, that's it for this segment.
All right, you have fun.
Should we cut this like a promo?
I don't do promos.
Whatever, you know what to do. Guys, don't forget Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link in the description box. Website in the intro to this video. Please donate. All right.
Have fun. I'm not doing it.
I only saw one person follow the rule we put down, which was Langston.
It was after. Well, remember you said the rule that you wanted to be implemented, and then hold on, you gotta go way up.
I only see one at.
Yeah, but all right. You said at the beginning of the video, right? And then more people joined, and they didn't know.
Well, I can say it again. Not hard to type it out.
How are they gonna at you with a previous comment?
They just type the comment out again and put an at in front of it.
All right, you're gonna ignore them then?
Hey guys, if you if you have a comment for us
Didn't
and not
answer my
each
question.
other, you put at Yellow Brick Road.
All right, you didn't answer my question though.
What?
Just gonna ignore the ones that they probably asked us.
They can type it out again and just ask us again.
Whatever.
It's
Whatever.
like, what the freak?
Whatever.
How'd you not get that? Anyways, Langston Travis says,
I'll take that weight.
I think it's significant that they are holding meetings to take him out. It appears the establishment believes him to be more of the progressive threat than James does.
Let me see that.
Yeah. This James?
Only means take him out. It appears the well, I know. I understand. Like, you know, I could call it a group. You know, a group of people that basically play all for the same team. You know, what?
You didn't even do it right, Muay Thai. You fuck boy.
I get the threat that he appears to be. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why I can understand, like, they're holding meetings, you know. But I still have to consider, you know, as far as what this guy has done in the past. It's a little, you know, like, are you the guy, like, people should really have, as far as, like, you know, a person in power like that? Guy that just kind of like, we can't have Donald Trump elected. I have to compromise what I think is right. You have to go for Hillary Clinton, who was pretty apparent as far as no-fly zones, right? Syria. So it's like, instead of a virtually unknown, as far as Donald Trump was during the presidential election, he went with Clinton, who had a clear policy as far as foreign policy. Like, you're probably gonna start a war, or someone's gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, you didn't even say anything about it.
And yeah, he should be questioned on it. But Sanders said something like,
my bad. Not only the whole Russiagate thing and then the fucking Assad dictator bullshit. So
Sanders said something like, you know, the number one goal is to defeat Trump. This was a while ago.
that's ridiculous.
And then during the Fox News town hall he had, he says, we focus too much on Trump. So it's like, I don't know, as he gets closer to the election, maybe the mask starts slipping. And hope it's like a good one.
The thing about him,
you ever see it, like a mask starts slipping away and it's like, oh, you're actually a good guy underneath. But you're doing all this bullshit to, I don't know, just keep afloat.
yeah. I don't know what show, but I've seen it in shows. So, entertainment. What?
I thought you were going to say something.
No.
Matt Hunter, Sanders Kuhnman, 2020.
Oh, another joke. All right, what else?
Muay Thai fucked up on putting, how do you see the at that Matt Hunter and Propaganda and Langston did? That's how you do it.
Oh, what does it say?
It says fuck you.
Fair enough.
Propaganda. If you guys were Russians, wait, no, I skipped one. Propaganda. How was your day? I'm still alive.
Well, the day hasn't ended yet, but you know, as far as how it's been played out so far, I think it's been pretty ideal. You know.
Propaganda. If you guys were Russians, what would your names be?
Steelflex? What's that dude's name? The Iron Sheik? No. That's not him. Who's his partner? Remember that shit?
I don't know.
He'd go Iron Sheik and the other dude. No? You don't remember? I think it'd be Habib Nurmagomedov. That'd be my name. That was Russian. Yeah.
I think mine would be
The beat.
what it is in most of the world. Nigger.
Oh, you said
Damn
it. You said it, not me.
It fell flat. Fuck.
Said it.
I thought that'd be funny.
Well, think of it as if they were all in the room with us.
How do you say a nigger in... I can't do a Russian accent.
I don't really know how to do it, so I'm like, think of it merely as something you're going to say as a racial slur. And how do you say
I'm sorry for any
Negro?
black people offended by what I just said.
I don't know how to fucking do it.
Langston Travis says, seems to me like he improves and fixes his positions. Talking about Sanders.
Well,
There's something walking on my forehead. Shit, a spider or something?
I thought it was a spider, then it turns out it's my vein.
Uh,
You're like freaking me out now. I'm not afraid of spiders, I just don't want to kill them. Well, here's the thing. I get as far as someone maybe approving, but this is what I mean. Ideally, they should be a finished product before they even step onto that podium. Right? I don't mean to compare him to Clinton, but Clinton, right? Like, oh, okay, people don't like this. People don't like this idea of what I've said, 3 years ago. Let me just fix that. I'll fix this. I'll fix my stance on marriage, my stance on war. All this other shit,
yeah, those are last-minute fixtures almost.
So it's like, when are the Democratic debates? Is that what they're called? Specifically? In June. And what is it? It's almost May?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is stuff for me to kind of, or in my opinion, anybody else to go like, what are you doing? Are you like getting ready? Are you getting ready to just touch up everything else?
See, Sanders is a little different because
all right, hold on. What do you say?
He was doing things from years back.
So
this has always been sort of his platform.
So
I'm just saying.
Assad.
I don't think he's doing
Assad
last
is a
minute
dictator?
fixtures.
We'll see what he says on that if it's ever brought up.
I doubt
Let's see,
it is
Russia.
because we're getting out of there.
Not the point.
I'm saying the question probably won't be asked during the debates.
If that one guy, Ravel,
he might move on to something else.
Who knows?
Like Venezuela.
He's like, all right.
Or Saudi Arabia.
If that dude, ideally, if that guy has enough time to go after everybody that he thinks is somewhat suspect. Yeah. If it was me, and I was being honest as far as, well, I'm not going to get elected, but I'm here to talk about you, and you. I'll bring it up. That's what he did last time, right? He talked about Joe Biden. He talked about Obama. He talked about Clinton. He talked about probably like 8 people fucking down the row.
Yeah. Well, we were still in the Iraq War, and 2 of the 3 major candidates were...
Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So...
propaganda, now say your Russian name like a Russian.
Habib Nurmagomedov.
That's actually funny, Matt Hunter. Propaganda, what are your names so I don't refer to you as white slave boy?
That's funny. James.
And I'm Jordan. Muay Thai still sucks at putting the at. How racist are you towards Mexicans? What kind of questions are these? What's up with you guys?
I don't know, dude. Like, where I'm, like,
Langston's the only one putting, like, legit questions.
It's like, even growing up, as far as, like, school, whatever have you, friends, it's like, majority of people were actually, like, black or, like, Hispanic, so, it's like, not that it means I'm not racist, but I'm not, So it's just, never had an issue. Ever.
Propaganda out of 10. Asking for a friend.
Out of 10? What does that mean?
I guess, how racist are you?
Oh, I'm not racist at all. I just think the jokes are fucking funny, even if they suck.
Alright. Time to move on to something more serious. I might let this rock as just us talking about in the live stream. Like, I won't cut this into a separate video.
Up to you.
I mean, yeah. I'll just do the intro anyways.
BBC.
Yeah, you can read.
Right now?
Alright, I'm going to do a quick intro cut so we can chop this up and put it as a separate video. Bear with me.
Behold the fishnets land tonight, as the rose goes from limb to limb. She buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work.
Okay, so Trump vetoed the Yemen bill, co-sponsored by Bernie Sanders. And when this happened, I started tweeting, like, oh, he's trying to lose now. About Donald Trump. Like, oh, you're trying to lose.
Oh.
Donald Trump.
Oh.
It's like, you vetoed a bill that everyone wanted to get passed, who was written by the guy who's probably going to be your next opponent for the presidency. Mm-hmm. And people are leaving Donald Trump's team officially. Like, this might have broken the spell. There's pictures all over Twitter. People are like, look at this. And it's all starving children and all this shit.
Yeah.
All the buildings that are destroyed. They say, you're going to continue this shit?
Yeah.
And it would still continue regardless for a period of time after, but it wouldn't be us handing them shells as they shoot them at people.
Yeah. I hear you. Do you want to read those real quick? And then we'll...
Good. Are they serious?
Oh, I haven't read them yet. Propaganda 0 out of 10. We can all earn friendship, that's what I'm going to say. Tell us a funny joke. The corrupt politicians' foreign policy.
I have no jokes right now.
You guys think about doing another Assange video? I don't mind doing a follow-up.
Yeah, I don't mind either.
All right.
No.
BBC News.
So let me put this on the screen.
BBC News, Yemen war. Trump vetoes bill to end U.S. support for Saudi-led coalition. U.S. President Donald Trump has vetoed a bill passed by Congress to end support for the Saudi-led war in Yemen. Mr. Trump described the resolution as an, quote, unnecessary and, quote, dangerous attempt to weaken his constitutional powers.
Hold on. Like...
What?
No, what you just read. Think about that.
Oh.
It's a dangerous attempt to weaken his constitutional powers.
Yeah.
That's one of the weirdest responses I've ever heard. There was no, like... Well, he did bring up safety in his little letter of address, but... He calls it a dangerous attempt to weaken his constitution. He's trying to lose now. Now the theory that happened way back when he got elected, where people were like, he didn't think this would happen. He's going to try to get out of here somehow. It's like, this looks like him, like, I'm out.
Maybe,
Too much.
Maybe.
Good.
It is only the second time Mr. Trump has used his presidential veto since he took office in 2017. Opposition in Congress to his policy on Yemen grew last year after Saudi agents killed the journalist Jamal, I don't know how to say that name, Khashoggi at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Now, that's alleged, I would say. But the resolution passed the House of Representatives in April and the Senate in March, the first time both chambers have supported a war powers resolution, which limits the president's ability to send troops into action.
They're trying to threaten his constitutional power. No one's doing it for, I don't know, moral reasons. It's constitutional powers. By the way, like it said in this article, I don't think a lot of people would be saying much about Yemen unless that journalist died. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be real about this. Oh, and Kamala Harris voted no the first time this came around in the Senate.
Put a no? Voted no?
She voted nay.
Ah.
I found this neat little website where it's almost like baseballreference.com. it's like that for people's voting records.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Look at that. Why is there a war in Yemen? How my country has changed. Quote, this resolution is an unnecessary, dangerous attempt to weaken my constitutional authorities, endangering the lives of American citizens and brave service members, both today and in the future, end quote. Mr. Trump said in the veto message.
All right, that's there's like a piece of paper he wrote out and sent it, I guess, to journalists, or he took a screenshot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is fucking trash. This is absolute trash, and no one's buying it. And Tulsi Gabbard should thank you for the votes.
Mm-hmm. The House Speaker, Democrat Nancy Pelosi, was among those to condemn President Trump for the move.
Just read that.
Her tweet?
If you want. If you don't, we can move on.
Nancy Pelosi tweeted, the conflict in Yemen is a horrific humanitarian crisis that challenges the conscience of the entire world, yet the president has cynically chosen to contravene?
I don't know where you're at. Oh, you're on the tweet.
Yeah.
Contravene.
A bipartisan. I don't know. Bicameral vote of the Congress and perpetuate America's shameful involvement in this heartbreaking crisis. Yemen has been devastated by a conflict that escalated in March 2015 when the rebel Houthi or Houthi?
Either one.
Movement.
Fuck it.
Movement seized control of much of the west of the country and forced President. Oh my God.
I'm not even.
I know how to say a lot, Mansour.
Just call him
Mansour Haiti to flee abroad. See, I have friends that have that last name from Egypt, huh? At least I think they.
President M.
Alarmed by the rise of a group they believe to be backed militarily by regional Shia power Iran, Saudi Arabia, and 8 other mostly Sunni Arab states began an air campaign aimed at restoring Mr. Haiti's government. The U.S. has provided billions of dollars of weapons and intelligence to the coalition.
Yes, and a lot of people think this is on behalf of Israel in this weird way that I'm too ignorant to understand. Oh, not to understand, but to have information on
Israeli policy?
That in a roundabout way, this is helping Israel out in the Middle East. And that's the only reason. As soon as the Saudis play their role, then looks like they need some freedom in Saudi Arabia. As soon as we get that shit done with.
Think of it like...
or this is a roundabout way to get them into Iran, which is also helping Israel.
I mean, right? Alaska?
I'm not being anti-Semitic, just saying what I've heard.
Think of it more of as far as Alaska. There's penguins in Alaska.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, a bunch of penguins huddle near a hole. It's somewhat trembling. Then oil just shoots out. They report about an abundance of oil being found in Alaska or whatever the fuck, Antarctica. Whatever the fuck. There's a lot of snow and penguins. And all of a sudden, regime change should be implemented. The penguin Taliban is on the rise.
Yeah.
So it's and I don't mean to be jokey, but it's a bullshit story. Yeah. Something so ridiculous, really penguin Taliban. You know what I mean? So it's compare that, right, with some of the shit that we've been told,
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever country is stating their stance on some sort of a foreign government. You see how cartoony that is, but they hide it with specific words and phrases.
Yeah,
it's a buzzword. We're here for your safety.
Double speak almost.
Yeah.
Actually, read that last.
The UN says at least 7,000 civilians have been killed in the country, with 65% of the deaths attributed to airstrikes by the Saudi-led coalition. U.S. senators have...
Should not forget blocking off ports in the Yemen for food. I think starvation is their number one killer there. Just saying.
Not only that, the arms deal. So it's like, wonder who helped them with that.
See how it says civilians have been killed.
Have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it almost sounds like killed in the sense of someone's trying to kill you type thing.
Yeah.
So that's why the numbers might be so, I don't know. I could
exaggerated?
They could be much lower than they actually are.
U.S. senators have accused Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, or whatever. Salman? Whatever. Of ordering the murder of Mr. K. But Saudi prosecutors have insisted it was a, quote, rogue operation, end quote, and that the agents were not acting on his orders. President Trump first used his veto last month after Congress voted to block his declaration of a national emergency on the U.S. southern border in order to secure funding for his border wall, which is probably going to be non-existent, to be honest.
So, bullshit.
Boy. BBC. Does this stand for bloodbath carnage? I mean... You know what I mean?
Yeah, do that while I set another thing up.
Alright. Do you guys find it hard... propaganda. Do you guys find it hard to do streams about UFC and have to defend the little bitch Batman? It's not so much Batman the superhero. It's more of the trilogy that Christopher Nolan directed that basically combine, you could say, Batman's origin story or the character of Batman with these ideas that are immovable, unbreakable. So, at Yellow Brick Road, propaganda, Jordan, I would have been James's dad if that dog didn't beat me to the top of the stairs. See, I saw you said that in some other comment, so... To someone else, by the way, so I mean... If you guys have any other questions, you can ask quickly before we begin a new topic.
This is our last topic.
Oh, it is? Okay.
You can see this tweet. I'm kind of depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Trump didn't drain the swamp. He hired it.
I mean, how long does it take for...
This is one of his supporters at the time, I believe.
Yeah. How long does it take for people to realize that? How long ago was that? Drain the swamp?
2016.
Okay. And then who do you hire as soon as you got into office, or the first week or the first 2 weeks or whatever have you? You had people from Goldman Sachs.
Well, he already had Steve Bannon.
Oh, look at that. My bad. Yeah, you're right.
What they had was a suspension of disbelief with the idea of, 8D chess and whatever, 4D chess, that he's making these horrible decisions now as maneuvers that are going to trick the globalists into thinking he's one of them, and then at the last second he's going to pop up and surprise him and take him down and send him to jail, and then QAnon's going to rise up from the grave. And
that's like a cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Like an example of some sort of idea.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Unreal.
There's still people that are like,
oh, boy.
Well, you got to realize that there's proxies for Russia and Iran there, so we need to stop the proxies. I'm like,
what is that? What?
What?
I mean, I understand when someone has a team, they're going to fight for the team. Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, they view it as a team. Yeah.
All right, that's it for that topic.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to say, donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link down there. Make a donation, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Any amount will help. Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link in the description box. All right. Now, the rest is you guys. Whatever the freak. What time is it? All right.
Oh, the rest is for them?
And like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever.
All right.
You guys can say whatever about whatever. Or is there anything interesting you've seen that you just want to throw up?
No.
I can't even think now.
Propaganda said I missed you guys. It's been like 4 days.
Yeah. Shit's mad far away.
Can't read it?
You wouldn't be able to read it from over there.
From where? Right there? I just did.
From where I'm at.
Oh, from there?
You
No.
can read that fucking thing.
No.
Why tie putting links in there?
I don't know what
What
they're
creepy
for.
shit is this?
I saw them arguing about like the prototypical as far as what Matt Hunter would post or say as far as race or I guess crime and race statistics and whatever have you, and then people are arguing back and forth in the comment section. I don't know. Maybe it's something regarding that subject. I don't know.
You should do a video on Gore Vidal. Check out some of his content.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Let's try the RT version of it. Everything else might get fucking blown. Or real news network.
Marcia Village, just know that when you are asking us a question or just trying to say something directly to us, just say at Yellow Brick Road. That way we know, or we can just clearly see that someone's talking to us specifically.
Hey Marshall.
I'm just gonna hold this. Y'all might want to do a video about the Jehovah Witness cult scandals. They have a governing body of eight old men. Okay, 8 old men that tell them what to believe. All who disobey are shunned by congregation and family. Sounds like Scientology.
Look at this fucking guy on Ellen.
Ellen? Oh, that punk?
Ellen gives Mayor Pete Buttigieg a platform.
Oh, fuck Ellen, man.
Of course you are. To make his big announcement.
Propaganda.
This is so fucked up.
Turn your mic up.
Also, fuck, there's another thing.
Turn your mic up.
Turn my microphone up?
Yeah.
Turn my mic up.
Propaganda.
Check.
Gore debates
check.
this William F. Buckley, and he is crazy. He reminds me of Shapiro.
William F. Buckley
that
looks
guy.
like a pompous asshat. Like, he looks like a stereotypical one. But there was something. Oh, people were complaining that Trump was going to donate, or the government was going to donate like hundreds of millions of dollars to fix that fucking Notre Dame church. And Flint's like, hey, our water, we can't drink our water still. We need money to fix our piping
Did I
system.
not say this like a while ago? Like, you have enough money for fucking funding wars for a fucking wall, allegedly. But you don't have enough money to fucking fix Flint, Michigan.
But they would have excuses with the wall and with military things. But this thing is just, it's old and it's a church, I guess.
All right.
Not to say it's not important, just,
Yeah. Well, no, it's just, hey guys, we can rebuild that after everyone else has clean drinking water.
Yeah.
How about that? Is that cool? Is that unreasonable? I don't think so.
And
My
Jesus.
friend lives near that area.
Yeah.
Like, they buy water bottles, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know how messed up that is?
And Jesus probably would have kicked it down already. Is this for looks or for worship? It's for worship.
Well, he wouldn't be so great. He'd just do like.
Oh, you just like the way it looks. Okay.
He just, is
Why do people living
is that a
outside?
helicopter? And it's like a bunch of gasoline being poured on it, but people think it's water. You just hello. Lights it on fire. With no one inside, obviously. Marshall Villager, y'all might want to do a video about white cops on gunning down black churches in the South.
I did hear that story.
I did not hear about it. I was in my own zone for the last 2 days.
Yeah, it was, the son of a cop shooting or burning.
Well, that's unfortunate.
If I'm getting that right.
Absolutely unfortunate. Propaganda.
I'm just like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's awful. William F. Buckley was a TV host in the 60s.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I watched him versus Noam Chomsky. I don't remember what it entailed. I just remember Buckley being like, it's like, oh, you're one of those guys.
Propaganda. The clip you guys are going to play is from the book Julian was holding. You don't even have to read it.
Yeah, I know. Real News Network, Aaron Mate and those guys. All right, so here's Gore Vidal on The Emperor.
Oh. Hey, Marshall Villager. What's it? Marshall Village or Villager?
Villager.
If there's a documentary about that topic, or some sort of like, you know what I mean?
It's fairly recent. There
Really?
There wouldn't be a documentary.
Oh, okay, my bad. All right.
All right. Here we go. Gore Vidal on The Emperor.
One of the principles of U.S. foreign policy coming out of World War II was to establish a single superpower world. Was one of the reasons for...
By the way, Gore Vidal is a fucking savage. He's like, fuck everything.
No, instead of people say like, what the fuck or the fuck, he's like, fuck. But it's a question, like, fuck.
He's what Stefan Molyneux was supposed to be in a better world.
In a better world?
The dropping of the nuclear weapons, to tell the world, a shot across the bow, if you will, that this is going to be a single superpower world.
I don't think it was that well thought out. We had single-handedly won World War II. The Russians don't agree with this because without their land armies, we would never have liberated Europe from the Nazis. So the Russians paid a great cost in life and treasure, as they like to say. And they won the ground war, we won the air war, and we won the sea war. That was about it. But we grabbed all the credit for everything, as we are wont to do. Europeans have always noticed we come in very, very late into their European wars. And if they followed the advice of people like me, we'd never have come in to go at war abroad, as we did in World War I, as we did again in World War II. What we lacked by 45, when the bombs were being dropped or considered, we lacked Franklin Roosevelt. He was the emperor. He knew exactly what he was doing. He'd made a number of agreements with Stalin at Yalta. All Stalin asked for was to be treated as a normal superpower, which is what they were. Roosevelt did not have any nonsense going on in his head about the sanctity of Christianity and the sanctity of capitalism versus communism. I don't think he ever gave such topics a thought. All he knew is we had won the war and he was going to decolonialize. Now that is the great Roosevelt message. He told Churchill at Yalta, he said, now we're winning, the war in Europe. Pacific War was still going on. But now that we're winning it, you know that you're going to have to give up India. And you go, oh, yes, of course, we always knew that. And one day we would really give it up. And he said, no. You're going to give it up right away. And France is going to give up Indochina. Sumatra and Java are going to be let go free by the Dutch. And he said, I don't care what this does to European powers, I'm ending colonialism, because without a clean sweep, the United States is meaningless. I mean, Roosevelt was a great statesman, and he knew a lot about geography and these other jokers.
No, the comments keep coming.
Live stream out.
Really?
Are we back?
Can they hear us? Let me check. Check something.
Propaganda says we're back.
All right, cool. Anyway,
Sorry about that.
you know, I can't help but to think it's like you're not like saying Roosevelt was like a good, you know, good person, are you? You know.
I say he was a great statesman.
Okay.
Those are the words he used.
All right.
Yeah.
It's like I view that guy as like, didn't you try to get the U.S. into fucking World War II? And then popular opinion was no. And you had prior knowledge to an attack. Pearl Harbor.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Corbett, Ryan Dawson. You know, better guys to look at for that. But
I don't know that particular one. I don't know that particular one.
oh, think of it more as, from what I remember it being, not without any real actual specifics, the U.S. wanted to engage in World War II. And popular opinion, as far as, public opinion, was like, no, neutral, stay neutral. So then, the
like
U.S.
Syria.
Yeah, and then the U.S. Let's say you're Japan, I'm U.S.
Yeah. You've done this before.
Yeah.
They provoked them.
Yeah, and then eventually they caught people were telling people started hearing that, okay, like, from allegedly from our sources, that there's going to be a planned attack on this, anywhere from this date to this date,
Okay, I have heard this.
And they let it slide.
I don't remember it well, though.
And then it happened.
Yeah.
And it was awful. Pearl Harbor. And then public opinion was like, all right, skyrocketed. Go to war.
Yeah, I think people are too keen to things like that, which is why maybe nowadays they appeal to the empathy.
Yeah.
See, he's gassing his own people. Oh, he did it again. We're trying to leave, and he does it again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Churchill apparently turned to him. He thought this man was his friend. Well, emperors have no friends. And he said, what do you want me to do? Get on my hind legs like your little dog Follow and beg? And the emperor said, yes. You don't take on emperors in their own empire. Roosevelt had done what he set out to do. Why did he set out to do what he did? He had lived through World War I, and he'd come to Washington as Assistant Secretary of the Navy under Woodrow Wilson, one of the woolliest-headed presidents we ever had. I mean, he makes Harry Truman look like Einstein. He tries out the League of Nations, which he didn't know how to set it up. He antagonized half the Senate and then wondered why they voted against him. Roosevelt had learned his lesson from Woodrow Wilson, so he sets up the United Nations. Wisely, he put Eleanor Roosevelt, who's in many ways a better statesman than he, in charge of just seeing that it got off to a good start, because he suspected he was dying, and indeed did die. And she nursed it along. And it was a very good thing until American right-wingers got hold of it, because they had to complain about foreigners. Foreigners are bad people, they don't wash, and they never pay back their debts.
Roosevelt was planning his...
A Lannister always pays his debts. Sorry.
Didn't even watch it.
I did. It was okay. Doesn't mean it was great in an okay way. As in, you're just building tension.
Kentucky loving, right?
What?
Kentucky loving.
I don't know what that
Cousins.
Yeah, but they're brothers and sisters.
Oh my, that's worse.
They broke it. They split up.
Joe Dirt. I don't care.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Hell.
All right.
His vision of the American empire?
Of course he was. Why would the first thing he did was tell Churchill, goodbye, India? You're out of the empire business. There are no empires. He didn't say we're going to be the only one, because he was too tactful and too manipulative. Somebody might have said, no, you're not. But he set everything up, the post-war world.
He makes a deal with Ibn Saud on a boat off Great Bitter Lake.
Yeah, on his way back from Yalta on a battleship. And Ibn Saud, the king of Saudi Arabia, came aboard and spent the entire day. And here's Roosevelt, a dying man, saying, you know, I'm rather looking forward to coming here after the war. I can help you with many things. He was going to help him with the oil, or price of oil, I suppose. And Roosevelt was still very vigorous. It's just his flesh gave out. And so he came to die at Warm Springs, Georgia, on a sad day.
That deal with Ibn Saud seemed to set the pattern for the next 50, 60 years of Middle East regional policy.
Well, and also, and a conflict with the Brits, because the Brits were in Iranian oil, Amco, whatever the company, well, British Oil Petroleum. And the Brits could think of nothing else. And Roosevelt thought, well, I'll preempt that sooner or later with the American alliance with the Arabians. And they quite liked each other, the two old kings, and they sat there and divided up that sphere of influence. But then Roosevelt was dead, and Ibn Saud was never a great player, and so that was the end of that.
But it did set some of the pattern of this use of Wahhabism and the Saudi royal family in the Middle East politics.
Well, I don't think Roosevelt knew anything about the Wahhabi Muslims. He didn't do a lot of research, but he had great instincts. He knew where the oil was, and he knew where the power was. So he accommodated the power of the royal family there, and he smiled benignly at the oil wells.
Well,
Very interesting.
all right. Let's see where we cut off.
We can find a way to get rules going.
Yeah. Propaganda dope hair, right? It's okay. It's a 50s comic book hair. Mm-hmm. Live stream cut. No. It's back. You back. Alright. Matt Hunter. Well, he's not tagging us in any of these, but you know. Still read it anyway.
Well, it should be like this. You tag us for either while we're in the middle of a segment and you want to put a comment, you have something to say, you do an @ to us so that we can scroll up and read it. Or if there's like 800 people, which there isn't, then you do the @ so we know you're talking to us. Things like that. That would work better for me. I think there's a reason why when you hit the @ symbol and @ someone, it's highlighted for them so they know what the freak. It's either that or
Yeah.
you end up getting broadcasters where there's so many comments that they're just like, I only read donations, sorry. So if you have no money, you have no voice here.
I missed this comment from Matt Hunter. It says Gore Vidal is anti-white. Nah, you're probably just trolling, so. Quote, Vidal said that he refused to call himself, this is from Matt Hunter. Vidal said that he refused to call himself gay, end quote. Because, quote, he was not an adjective, end quote. Wow, lamest denial ever.
I might actually like that.
Yeah, same. Matt Hunter, I started watching this video numerous times. My doctor prescribed it for me for my insomnia. Works wonders. Propaganda. Why would Julian signal to this book? I don't know. It is odd. I don't know. Like, of all things.
Oh no, something happened.
Yikes.
One for like actual news stories.
Yeah.
Not fucking sports. More sports.
Don't care right now. Alright. Well.
So what do you guys think about them covertly trying to take down Bernie Sanders?
Who's him?
I said they.
Oh, they.
Basically, those guys who get to go to those secret dinners that
Oh, yeah.
no one else is allowed to go to.
I guarantee there's no McDonald's there.
Nah.
What a dick.
Or,
Shouldn't even help.
yeah. Or what do you think about the Yemen, Trump vetoing the, ending the aid to Saudi Arabia?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are probably the two most important things that stick out in my mind. I mean, there was obviously the Bernie town hall happened. That was a big deal. I heard a lot of the crowd was like Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he got the applause that he got. But I don't know. At the same time, I do think a lot of people are for healthcare, but I don't think that whole crowd was like the Trump Republicans sitting in that room.
Propaganda. Let's watch Joe Biden being a creep. Have you seen the countless videos?
Yeah. Saw him a while ago.
Same.
What was the first one?
I already said it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could talk about the right now how I see the race possibly going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have my own mental polls because I don't trust any of the fucking polls out here.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. I honestly believe that Gabbard's definitely going to surprise mainstream media. But I do think Bernie Sanders is going to win in the end.
And, yeah.
That's what I believe is going to happen.
Now, here's the thing that Jimmy Dore brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I think several people brought up. Bernie, okay, there's so many candidates running in the field,
Mm-hmm.
which added, this whole thing I'm about to say just added another conspiracy theory to my repertoire. The Bernie Sanders town hall, right? Fox News asked him a question about him getting screwed over, and Bernie's like, oh, they changed some of the rules so that, superdelegates don't take over my shit. But Jimmy Dore pointed out that I haven't heard before because I don't know their rules specifically.
Right.
Round one will be no superdelegates. Round one of the polling and the trying to pick a winner for the primaries. And I believe the winner needs 65% in that first round
Mm-hmm.
in order to move on to say, okay, you're running for president for the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get 65%, then there will be a second round where the superdelegates could now play a role, and they basically are going to pick the next presidential nominee.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy to me. That's insane.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's why 80 people are running for president. Like, guys who are like, dude, you're not going to fucking win. What are you doing here? Like, your policies are no different than this person's.
Mm-hmm.
You may focus more on this issue, but it's still
More
the
that
same shit.
it's going to take another run around for people to catch wind of this shit. It's just new tricks.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, as long as you can pull, like, let's say you just take someone from Wyoming or Indiana. Well, you already have Indiana, West Virginia somewhere, right? It's like, oh, this state knows this guy. He'll probably get like 1% from there. And you have someone who's a little bit more popular, like Kamala Harris, like, oh, she'll probably win, like, maybe 5 to 10%. Yeah, Biden, you get like 20-something%. All of a sudden, Bernie does not have the 65% in that first round. Thus, they have to go to the second round. And it's like, oh, shit, you can get screwed over again.
Yeah.
And this time's going to be people are going to go ape shit if that happens. And Trump's going to be like, he still might lose.
I don't see him winning.
I see him sabotaging himself. He might win against Biden, though.
I don't see Biden coming close. I see somehow, some way they're going to push him towards maybe like three, like you could say like just 3 left.
Yeah.
But that dude ain't lasting. There ain't no.
No, I'm talking about the presidential election.
Oh, I thought you meant nominee.
I said when it gets to the second round, that's when super delegates start playing a role. And it's like, let's say they favor Biden.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fuck.
All right. Let's watch. I don't know how to say that fucking word.
I can't see that fucking word. Let's watch.
George Carlin video. I know that's George Carlin, but.
Oh, entropy?
Oh.
Entropy?
What's that? Is it a skit he does or a sketch?
Either way, we can't play George Carlin.
We can't play audio?
You can't play George Carlin. That's going to get ripped.
Seriously?
For sure it is.
If he was alive, he'd fucking...
Yeah, I know.
Dude, that sucks. Alright, whatever. Alright.
Entropy.
Is that it?
He like made up a word. It's between like empathy and entropy.
Oh, yeah.
You mix them together. Sent a link.
I wish we could.
What I want to play is this fucking Buttigieg.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Trying to look for stories I care about. So the William Barr thing's gonna happen tomorrow. Or are they gonna show spying on Trump? Because that's important. These fucking dumb blue check mark guys on fucking Twitter. They're so trash in what stories they care about. And the stories they want you to focus on. It's all dog shit. Oh, fuck. Whoa. This might be interesting.
What?
This might be interesting.
What? What? What is it? Fourth time. What? Not right now. What is it? Die in the fire.
Why isn't it just fucking trending? Whatever. Oh, but this isn't news, just from a random person.
So we got. So a guy just walked in St. Patrick's Cathedral with 2 gas cans. Ushers stopped him, but what the fuck? What?
Man arrested after approaching St. Patrick's Cathedral. There we go. Oh, in New York City.
Oh.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I hate stories like this.
What? Can't play that.
He told you to watch that.
He told me to watch it.
James watched this video after.
Probably already seen it, but alright. I've seen a bunch of his shit.
You should play the Status Coup doc trailer. I bet they would be stoked. It's about Flint. Let me check that out. Definitely Jimmy Dore shit. I see that in my recommended list. Sheridan reports on Michigan government. I'll check it out. There's a fucking trailer. That's what I should have.
Oh. Trailer. What? I mean, you don't know.
I don't see a trailer.
Go to Google. Just type it in and go to videos.
It's a Jordan Sheridan thing.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. You type in trailer. Trailer. Trailer.
If it's an actual, if it's
Bueller?
a documentary, it'll show up as a trailer unless it's free released.
Oh.
Then I'll know it's in the thing.
There's a link he just sent you. What? Oh.
Okay. You want to do a reaction? I mean, I'm ignorant on Flint, other than their water being shitty. Alright. We're going to do a reaction to Exposed. Is Flint's water really restored? This is from the upcoming documentary Flushing Flint from Status Coup. Premieres April 23rd at statuscoup.com/Flint. Available free for members. Alright, let's watch this.
I don't understand why you can't give us the latest testing data and what it shows for the water in Flint. I would think that the governor of Michigan would have those numbers at the top of his mind right now.
I can't get into full details yet, but I might have uncovered some major capital C level corruption here that might prove the numbers they've been using to declare the water safe here in Flint correct. Not true.
I'm going around the city checking homes that have been tested for the water.
They just showed up one day and said that they needed to do water testing.
Do you remember if they turned on the water, put the bottle in right away, or did they let it run?
They let it run for a minute.
Turn the water on, let it run for, like I said, like a minute.
Yeah, it was DEQ the first time.
There is no bathing and showering standards.
Turn it on, let it run, and then catch the bottle full.
This right here, you're not gonna take my property for the stinking ass water.
So I was hoping I could ask you, because you were on the list for the State Sentinel.
Ooh, interesting. I like that. I like this part.
Yeah, free screening for status quo.
Status quo members.
Quo members and Flint residents. That's like you gotta pay. Gotta pay.
I like that he's doing it for Flint residents.
Oh, for me, it's like if I have a documentary, I want everybody to see it. It'd be free no matter what. That's just me, though.
Yeah. I'm sure they. Yeah, I'm sure they allow premieres or whatever.
I'm sure
it gets out on the
Yeah,
internet.
I get why someone would ask for money, you know, so we can do more, you know, so we can go places, and
yeah,
I get it, but you know, I'm just conditioned by these fucking people who have a lot of money who make documentaries, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, pay us. Like, you guys need more money.
Anyways,
all right.
So I will be watching this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find a way to try and watch it.
Yeah, it will be free. Yeah.
I mean, topic I'm fairly ignorant about, but a lot of people who are more of the, I guess they're called progressives, those types, care about Flint's water. Like, you guys do all this shit all over the world, but you can't fix these guys' water.
Yeah.
I mean, from the foreign wars to donating to fix an old building in someone else's country.
You think some of these arms deals, they'd use that money to, you know.
Yeah.
You'd think, but.
No. You always rely back on to what we do understand, which is the foreign wars and shit like that. I don't know, that's always priority number one to me. Like, don't purposely kill. Like, that should be number one stop right there.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop that first. I mean, let's stop all of it, but why not start there? Yeah, so that was just a quick little... we don't have a lot of followers or viewers or whatever, but if we can promote this, why not promote it? I don't mind. Unless we find out these guys are assholes. And we'll make another video about them.
I'm going to wait a little bit.
Fuck it. There it is. Alright, that's going to be it from us, guys. Every time I say that this is going to be it, someone else shows up. So, god damn it.
Yeah, same dude. Alright.
Anyways, that's it from us, guys. We are done. Please subscribe if you like. Comment. Always comment. Donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. You're not donating to us if you're new. You're donating to one of our subscribers and his wife, helping them pay their medical bills. So please donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link down there. Description box. You can't even see my hand. I'm so black. You do it. You point. There you go. There you go. Use the black backdrop. Don't use your white shirt. Use the black backdrop. Because then they won't see you. Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link in the description box. Website in the intro to this video. Please donate to them guys. Much appreciated. And with that said,
He says don't go.
Sorry, propaganda. Go on Twitter, dude. I'll talk. Or Instagram. Link in the description box down there. Linda's late. Used a DVR. What?
Propaganda says the bed is cold without you guys.
And with that said, please give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.